shout out to the Dub. Hey,
watch this.
Hey, number one Dub.
Football talk is a big hit. Sunday nights to Wednesday nights, we striking a match cause we lit. Y'all know the name, we call it the Dub. On Friday nights, it feel like a club. Getting that VIP treatment on the sideline, they showing us love. Great interviews, go hoods, put it in work, go good. Texas youth and high school talking to page on Facebook, hold up. Coach Carter still on the scene, giving advice, he do what he mean. Jay Mack, we be on the scene, rocking the gear, it's so clean. We rise and go easy, off the easy, push easy. We best step is our special gifts, making flicks and so easy. Trying to win, we so greedy. All my fans are so needy, cause they need to hear them talk about the club. We do it for the dub. 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 That DF dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. That DF dub.
Welcome to the Dub, number one high school podcast starring Pat O'Teevy, Jeremy McInnes, Coach Carr, and Brian Reiser.
Well, all right. What's happening? What's going on? Welcome to the number one talk show. Speak out. Speak out. Speak out. Speak out. Speak out. Speak out.
Going to the next round. Salute. Get ready.
Dub salute. Hey. Good kick. I gotta do something like that.
You gonna stay?
Some kids have been impacted positively by no pass, no play. I think others have suffered because of no pass, no play. And I don't mean suffered because they couldn't play in a game, but suffered because they were taken away from the counsel of someone that they respected very much, that being the coach.
Hey, if it ain't live, it ain't me. What it do? Let me grab my mic, see if we can get that sound better. All right, if it ain't live, it ain't me. It's your boy Bo. Episode 129. Dub salute. B Rise. What it do?
What up? What up? So look, I seen that old video, man. I was like, man, they been missing field goals since 1991.
Boy, that's straight facts, dog. They used to be the blood blue of teams back then in that era, bro. The special teams wasn't special. Couldn't find no soccer kids to save our lives back then. As a matter of fact,
I say, like the quarterback with the kicker.
No, for real. Look, it's funny because we got Matt Moore in the background from DFW News You Can Use. I found out that's what it meant. It was NUCU, News You Can Use. I thought it was just DFW NUCU, but I don't know. That was me. But we got my man on. We're gonna bring him on in a minute, man, and kind of get all the information about how he came up with what he came up with, why he does what he does. And I mean, it's great. It's special because I'm always copying it and posting it in the group. He's been lately posting a lot of stuff from Dave Campbell magazines from the 80s and the 90s. Boy, just taking everybody back down memory lane. So shout out to him, man. And we're gonna bring him on in a second. But speaking of kickers, I do have another video here, and it was my boy. He put up a video from Roosevelt when they were playing Kimball in 1986, I believe. And they were talking about a catch by a guy named Vincent Carruthers, who was my classmate. He was actually the kicker for Roosevelt back then. So he was missing them too. But yeah. How's your week been, dog?
I've been good, man. No complaints at all. Man, been good, man. And yourself?
Man, hey, I've been sick as a dog for like the last 7 or 8 days, man. I'm really just shaking back and feeling great now today and yesterday. So I'm good. And we literally haven't done a show in 3 weeks. So
I know, man. I know.
Shout out to our Dub folks out there in Dub land, man. Y'all comment, man, and like and do all that stuff that y'all normally do. J Mac, hopefully I'll pop in later, Coach Carr as well. But man, we're gonna bring on a guest in a second. But I want to do a couple of things real quick before we do that. Of course, let me see where we at. We got it. We got a shout out to our vendor. Yeah, we're gonna shout out to Maniac Prince. That is our newest advertiser for the show. If you want to advertise on the Dub, man, DM any of the guests. You can DM me, Pat Boteezy. We'll get to the business, let you know what the business is, and we'll get you guys on here. But man, shout out to our vendor, Maniac Prince. They're out in Forney, and they already print and do stuff for the Forney School District. If I can remove that, the phone number is 214-924-7776, 214-924-7776. Shout out to Maniac Prince. Deborah and all them and the staff will get with you. I'll be out there Friday. I got some prints I got to pick up. So shout out to my favorite print. They do all our prints for the Dub t-shirts and all that good stuff, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to our boys. But I'm still tripping out on this cartoon. Somebody got to do a better cartoon of us, man. Look, and like none of them look. Who look more like themselves on here?
Nobody.
Look, especially Coach Carr. They took like 40, 50 pounds off of Coach Carr. I would say J Mac probably look closer to himself on that.
Yeah. I'll say J Mac. Anyway, J Mac for sure.
It's J Mac for sure.
20 younger. They got me looking 25 years younger.
Yeah, but you like a little kid over there. But I would say that might be close to me over there. I can see me a little bit over there, Coach Carr. Yes, sir. But man, without further ado, and I'm gonna play a video as we bring in our next guest because I got multiple videos on here. But we're gonna take everybody back down memory lane. Shout out to everybody that's on the show. I see y'all popping in. Good evening to Harker Allen. Shout out to you. Pop out to the alumni picnic next Saturday. Man, everybody having alumni picnics. Didn't Carter just have one?
I sure did, right?
Yeah, I think I saw that picnic pop up for Carter. This is a South Oak Cliff one, and even though I'm not an alumni at either school, I don't mind popping up and eating. All right, so with that, all right. But with that being said, and Coach Carr, if you whenever you get in the background, let me know. I definitely want to bring you on for one of these clips. I'm not gonna play it until I see you on the show. But for right now, we're gonna play a clip, and then we're gonna bring on Matt Moore from DFW News You Can Use.
And Kimball, both 9-0, play tomorrow. Carter always has a good defense, but this year's defense is incredible. And here's Brian Jensen.
Man, don't you say this to him. Keep him to the sideline. Keep him hooked up on the sideline here. He can't go nowhere now.
Freddie James isn't teaching anything new on the Carter High practice field, or is he?
We don't want no football player on defense that can't move. We need that quickness on defense so we can try to make the opponent's offense make mistakes. And then we'll take the odds with offense.
We believe that We can take our best athletes and put them on defense, and then we can take the other athletes, not necessarily that they're not the best athletes, and put them on offense.
It's the old defense wins championships theory, played out like few high school coaches have the luxury to even try. And does it work? Carter has claimed the state's top defense in Class 5A 4 of the last 5 years. And this season, the numbers are incredible. Less than 140 yards rushing allowed after 9 games, with total average yards at barely 50 a game.
That's very impressive. I think they kind of get a lot of work out here from us. We be competitive in practice, which makes them better in the game. I always pedal the head to see us good work. They do be putting up impressive numbers. All them goose eggs they got on their side.
It's an honor to be a part of the Carter defense because we play as a team and play as one. We all depend on each other.
Here's what. Whatever we done, I'm glad we done it right.
There is just one other Area 5A team with numbers even close to Carter's defensive domination, and they've given up twice as much yardage this season. That team is district rival Kimball, which just happens to be Carter's opponent this weekend.
Hopefully we can go out there and cause Kimball to make some mistakes and give us the ball so we can at least get a field goal out of it. I hope it's not 0-0. Hope it ends up 3-0 in Carter favor.
Brian Jensen, Channel 8 Sports.
I didn't believe those numbers when Brian was telling me about them yesterday.
The biggest high school football game of the week in Dallas, saved for a Saturday afternoon, and turns out to be worth the wait for one team. Appropriately named the Super Bowl of Oak Cliff. Top-ranked Carter takes on Kimball. Both teams coming in 9-0, and it's Carter which leads 6-0 in the second quarter when Kimball's Henry Topher goes way up top and finds Darius Ayers. The touchdown ties the game 6-6, and it's still tied 6-6 with less than 10 seconds to play in the game, and Topher hits Wayland Crowder, and the standing room only crowd sees Kimball beat Carter for the first time since 1986 as the Knights close the race.
All right, Dub, salute Matt Moore, who is the proprietor of all this history and archiving that we were looking at. Man, just brings back a lot of memories and stuff like that. Boy, looking at them Carter Kimball days, and I remember. Did you go to Carter Kimball games back in the days of Sprague? Was you part of the 15 to 20,000 that was out there?
Yeah, I went for sure. I remember they moved it to Texas Stadium at least 1 year. I think that was like. I don't even know. It was in the 90s though.
Must have been like 97 or 98 or something. I know when I was going in the early 90s, boy, that was the scene right there, boy. You could not get in. It was standing room only at Sprague Stadium. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, man, Matt, what's good, man? Like the DSD all in here, Maceo Smith, Roosevelt. What's your DSD connection?
My DISD connection is high school connection is Skyline. From Skyline, I end up going to Molina to graduate.
Already. You was at and Skyline. You graduated in what you said, 99?
Yeah, 1999. Molina was the easiest route to go to graduate, so I had to make that transfer. That way I could graduate and kind of focus on me playing football. So 1999 was the year when I called it a rap in DISD.
Gotcha. I didn't even know Molina existed. I don't know why I thought Molina was like a 2005 edition or something.
I mean, a lot of people didn't know it existed, man. It was kind of tough, man. When I went out to junior college, telling people what school I came from, nobody knew what Molina was. So, we was the first graduating class though in '99.
Gotcha. Okay.
And let me toot my horn. I scored the first touchdown in varsity in Molina history. So,
I said
78 yards. Yep.
Talk that talk. What you play running back?
No, I was in safety. I picked up a fumble, man. They pitched it and it bounced. And, been playing football all my life. I know how the ball going to bounce. This time to good. We got blew out, though. We scored first, and it was all It was like 60-6 or 7. Well, yeah, it was 6.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we started out good though. Yeah, it went downhill from there.
But nah, you in the record books, dog. So
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, B. Ryan, you got a question real quick?
Man, I guess I see you a historian. So just how have the game just evolved, man? Just in your opinion, from that footage until now, like how has the game evolved? In your opinion, just from then to now?
The main thing, on the field, you just look at more of a spread offense. The field is more wide than what it used to be. Back in the day, you had Kimball running a wing T, and they was one of the fastest teams in the state. Was the fastest team in the state at one point, but they was congested in like a John Tyler like offense in their wing T, and that to me that kind of probably they would have had a spread back then. They probably been able to take advantage of their speed a little bit more. But to me, that's the main thing. Is just offensively, is just more passing. It ain't off running back focus, and that's what I see for the main offense anyway.
I know, man. Just seeing the old footage, like man, but just far as the excitement, it seems like the excitement still been the same, right? For us, the rivalries from then to now.
Some of them, I ain't gonna lie, Kimberly Carter taken, as far as the excitement has taken a step back, and what it used to be, because it's not selling out like it was, at Sprague, back in the 90s, when you can really say it was the Oak Cliff Super Bowl back then. Not knocking the rivalry, but I'm just saying back then it was more official because they was the two best teams in Oak Cliff at that time. But right about now, that rivalry probably ain't as much of a rivalry or as publicized as it used to be.
Right.
No, you're right, and and so we've asked this question on the show before about that rivalry. Do you think if they took it back to Sprague that it can regain a little bit of that magic? Because I think part of the magic was the fact that it was played at Sprague Stadium in a smaller stadium venue where you have, even if they pack today's crowd in, which the crowd has been growing lately, thanks to Coach Carr and the Dub and what they've been kind of doing with the rivalry. Do you think it brings back a little bit of that magic?
It's the winning. You know what I'm saying? It's going to bring it back. Them getting back to where they were at that time. We know both of those districts, especially the Kimball district, has had the neighborhood has had a big makeover from what it was in the 90s. Somehow they can fix, the guys that they got, develop them, working them feeder programs, maybe start getting into linking up with one of these little league teams or something. I don't know, but I think maybe it can work then because a lot of that rivalry was guys that had played against each other since Little League. You know what I'm saying? Right. You had the Jets, Redskins, Comets all spread around, Dragons, 49ers all spread around at those schools, and we all played against each other. Even though I didn't go to Kimball, I was in the Kimball district. I went to T.W. Brown, but decided to try to do something different, and try Skyline. But now I'm all familiar with the rivalry and, some of the guys that played a big part on both sides.
No doubt, because, like you said, I think part of it is you've had a lot of those kids migrate to Duncanville and DeSoto, so that's where that Carter Kimball rival actually is right now.
Right.
And because
I was just thinking.
Yeah, the neighborhood did. But that's how it always was. God, we went from South Dallas to Oak Cliff to Duncanville, DeSoto, now Red Oak, and kind of getting further out. But yeah, we was able to keep it together and make Oak Cliff like a neighborhood like what DeSoto is. We still would have that rivalry. But like you said, I think that a lot of those alumni that came from those schools are in those districts or in those neighborhoods.
Yeah, all the parents, hell, including myself. So
right. I did it too. But my son graduated from Kimball though.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Hey, we call that term. So if J-Mac was on the show, we actually call it J-Macking because he was the first one to move from Carter to DeSoto. So even though I actually did it first, I actually J-Mac before him. I J-Mac from Roosevelt to Duncanville, but but the term sounds better to call it J Mac and then P Robin. So we'll but yeah, and I think the winning part, they're actually winning, so both teams are winning now, but I think really winning on a bigger stage when they get to the
right.
Yeah,
That's what I mean, exactly.
Yeah, they gotta go 4 or 5 rounds deep, and then that will turn it up for sure. And speaking of Carter Kimball, let me see, we got it. Look, is this when the rival begin or not? Y'all tell me. All right, that's enough of that. But number 46 out there looking like Jesse Armstead daddy or something. That was that had to be from about 1970 something. But I don't know if the rival begun back then.
Man, no game was pat. Even in the 70s, man, no game was pat.
Yeah, it looked like a rivalry right there, though.
No game was pat.
I mean, it's still a rivalry, but it definitely like back then. It was still, you know.
Say, coach, it's a big difference, right, coach? It's a big difference.
I would say the peak of the rivalry is probably from 85 to about 95. 85 to 95 was probably the peak of the rivalry.
I got to say 99 at least for me, because I remember it still. I was at some of them games and it was competitive.
Yeah, you're probably right, because by that time, I by 95, I had a family and I wasn't really going to high school games no more until Duncanville made state in 98. So you're probably right. But man, shout out to what you do. So what was the brainchild behind DFW News You Can Use?
Well, I mean, what started it all really is just like everybody looking for content, you know, and this wasn't what I was focused on. I was really just finding stuff that I could of myself. I was looking for an Oak Cliff Jet video of myself from when we won the championship. I wanted to, relive that, because I did a interview with Chris Arnold. Found the Oak Cliff Jet video, and there was one when I wasn't in practice that day. So I was, I kind of went back and forth about sharing it, but I shared it and seen that a lot of people, was enjoying it, and so I just kind of started from there, started finding old videos. People, in elementary schools, from Daniel Webster to all the elementary schools in Dallas. I can't think of another one. L.A. Stemmons. So, yeah, that's what started it. Then I started thinking about stuff that I would enjoy. And then that's when football started coming up. I had a few football guys actually reach out to me asking me, could I find videos? Some send me videos, to post of themselves and of the games. So I used those. YouTube helped me find videos, and I started realizing that a lot of the highlights may be found inside of news clips. So I just started watching old news clips on YouTube. Got a little bit more interested and went on to UNT Library. And that's when I found a lot of the stuff that you see that don't say SMU Jones on there came from the UNT Library. And yeah, that was all kind of Texas football stuff, from the semi-pro Wranglers. Of course, I found some Oak Cliff Jet stuff. I posted some Pop Warner clips from the Comets, Redskins, back when they was taking that Super Bowl. It was being taped on Nickelodeon. Yeah. But yeah, all of it was just motivated really by people liking it and asking for more. And my audience growing, me seeing it grow, really made me want to keep going, So Yeah, and mostly everything that I do is on Instagram.
Absolutely.
So coach, so like us, so did you start in a southern sector like we did, like from Oak Cliff area, then just kind of expanded from here?
Well, I started. You mean like growing up?
I mean, the time for us, just for your with your podcast, your
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had to, right? That's where I felt like my audience was in most of the people I knew was in Oak Cliff and South Dallas. So I was looking for stuff along them areas and West Dallas too. So I was looking for stuff like that. Then I started thinking, well, maybe I can grow out, bring in more people if I start sharing stuff about South Lake Carroll and Plano, those type of those areas and more north. So yeah, that's how I kind of branched up that way, just trying to get a bigger audience.
Right, pay Pat, same philosophy, huh, Pat?
Absolutely. Yep. And so, speaking of your youth, and you played with the Jets, and we talked about that in the pre-show. And there's a lot of people on here that play with the Jets, the Redskins, the 49ers. I actually had the 49ers in my youth league, and they come back because they were gone for some years, and I think they started back up last year. So shout out to them as well. I believe in one of them clips, you had Tiger Wright in one of those clips, right?
Oh yeah, for the Trojans.
Yeah,
Big Tiger,
yeah, and his son, of course, is started DeSoto and now is at Texas A&M. So it's awesome that you put that stuff out, because every time I see a clip, I will look at the comments and I say, hey, that was such and such and such. And some of those guys have passed away and stuff. So it's just amazing that you can kind of put that out there, and that might be a great memory for a family member or something just to hold on to.
Right. No doubt. And I've gotten those messages as well, not on the sports clips really, but just on news clips that people reach out to share that, they saw their aunt that they've never met before. They got to hear her voice, people's moms that they've reached out that's passed away, and they got to hear them. And that's always something that's going to keep you going too, because, that's major. And if I could find something like that in my mom, I definitely would cherish it. My grandma.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I'm gonna show another clip in a second. I went to Belt for at least a year and a half, and you had one of my teammates on here, Vincent Carruthers. So I was like, oh man,
really?
Blast from the past. I was trying to see if I can see some. The furthest I've seen something from Duncanville go back is '88. So if you can find something before then, that would be awesome to see. Me and some of my former teammates and stuff. But let's pull this up real quick.
Dallas Roosevelt in the all-red going against Kimball, and Earl Smith hits Vincent Carruthers, which helps set up the game's first score, which comes on the first play of the second quarter. James Washington diving in, 6-0 Roosevelt at that point. Kimball ties before Roosevelt misses a field goal in the game's final play, but a penalty gives them another chance, and they kick it to win. The final Roosevelt 9 and Kimball 6. The team, which could well be the best in the area, if not the state, plays a big game tomorrow night against South Oak Cliff. And Mark Lewis tells us about the Carter Cowboys.
After missing most of the 1985 season with a leg injury, number 25, Darren Lewis, an All-American running back for Carter, is back better than ever, leading the Cowboys offense and providing much more than just All-American statistics.
Just there being out there present, number 25 present, it helped a lot with the morale of the team. It helped the morale of the team a whole lot. And plus, it affects the opponents that we were playing against.
It had to be nerve-wracking to stand on the sidelines, right?
Yes, it was pretty hard. But, it's like that once you get hurt in playing football, you have to sit there and suffer the consequences, but hopefully come back the following year strong.
Not only does Coach Freddie James have a very potent offensive attack this year, but his defense has yet to be scored on in 1986.
In '85, we had we went 10-0 with 10 shutouts, so we thought that we could do that this year.
If we can just come out and get ahead and score first, the defense would take care of everything else. Jerome and Curtis Banks and the rest of those guys, I'm glad I don't have to play against them.
Several times the Cowboys have been picked to get to state, but they've yet to win a championship. This may be the year.
I think we can. With Darren Lewis in the backfield, me kicking, and that line, we got it all. One thing I hope that we can make it to 16-ball game, and hope the score still can be Carter 45, where we play 0.
So far, so good, but it's a long way until the championship game in December.
I love
how did that season end?
that. What year was that one? That was 86. So they didn't win state. They won state after that in 88. Yeah, but that probably was a season where they probably went 3 or 4 rounds deep or something like that. They were a really good team. Tank, that's what we called him, Tank, when I was at Roosevelt. But everybody talked about Tank. Tank was a star in the whole city. Everybody knew who Tank was. There's 2 people who they were back then. Tank with Carter and Robot with Roy Martin with Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Those were some names that stood out back then, and those were the studs of the city. Boy, it just takes me way back, and I know a lot of people in our audience as well. Wow. And so I'm blown away by that. But Vincent Carruthers, I was cracking up because they were talking about them missing a field goal and then getting a chance. So Brian Riser, they field goal curse continued back then. Now, Matt, you made a point earlier about the way they ran the wing tee and all that, and how if they would have ran a spread back then, they wouldn't have been as offensively challenged. And I absolutely agree with that. I have another. I hope I got another clip on here. I don't know where it's at. I'm gonna look for it. But we had another clip where they was showing, and I might not have that on. I have to bring it back up. But they had Highland Park playing Roosevelt, and Roosevelt lost like 9-0. Like those were the scores of the games back then. Nobody wasn't really blowing each other out like 47-3 or 6 or something like that. It was all these tough, like God, we just fumbling 5 times and we can't score. And that was the issue with those teams back then, because they were just run oriented, and they passed out of desperation.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. The spread back then would have opened it up big time. When I played at Duncanville, we actually played. I played under Dan Gandy, and we had something called Gandy ball, and it was kind of a spread type formation. But we did a lot of running, but we did a lot of passing as well. And so it was an exciting offense to be in when I played running back. And so you're absolutely right. And I could tell the difference between the coaching in the inner city and the coaching in the suburbs, because I got to experience both of them.
Right.
So through your trials and just looking at the video and stuff, do you ever just kind of look at that, thinking about that, like, hey, if they opened it up, or if they coached it up a little bit different, they probably would have had more success back then, because they damn sure had the talent.
Yeah, that speed was different. I could think of dudes at Kimball at receiver. Dude I came up with, Seabird, if he could have got them more opportunities out there at receiver, the things he could have did for Kimball, or even if they would have just had a run option spread or whatever, where you got your quarterback run, you don't even have to pass, because everybody didn't have receivers out there like that. But at Skyline too, we had receivers that if they would have used them like that. My last year at Skyline, we had Randy Davis and Montreal Flowers, and they ran them in like a flex bone. I forgot what we called it, but every time Montreal would motion one way, the whole defense would shift. Anybody that went in, it was just crazy. You kind of you hurting your team, and you're giving away which way it's gonna go. You're making it easy for the defense. Whereas you spread it out, all these bubble screens and stuff that they running with this state championship track speed that we didn't have come through DISD. Man, they killing a lot of these teams. When I went to Tyler Junior College, and first thing all them Tyler guys talked about was all the fast dudes in Dallas, because that's what separated us from them. But we was playing their type of ball, trying to beat them playing their ball, because that's who was beating us mostly was East Texas.
Yeah, long views and and then some West Texas sprinkling. Yeah,
Odessa.
The smallish Odessa teams and stuff, just out executing us on that type of stuff.
Right.
Your Converse, Judsons, all that good stuff. Plano, Plano was big. And so just how are you, like you said, you're digging into the archive, you went into the UNT library. Do you think if you went to more of the college libraries, you'd be able to even dig up even more stuff in Dallas history or whatever? Because I did a really good job with the archiving.
Right.
And I feel like
some new stuff is more into the 70s type. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that's what they are releasing right now, the SMU Jones, because they control all of that. Really, yeah. But I've tried to find other sites, through when deep online, trying to still looking for stuff in different archive sites that I can find and pull stuff from. Like I say, if it's just a news clip with highlights, I'll do that. But yeah, I've tried the who else was it? DBU, not DBU, yeah, Dallas Baptist, University of Texas, TCU. I've tried everybody, and yeah, it's all nothing has come through like and has been as as good as what you find in the UNT library, because they pretty much hold all of Channel 5's old archives.
Right. So and SMU goes a lot of WFAAs.
Right.
So
I just can't figure out who got number for Channel 4.
Right. And look, and I've been I like looking at old stuff too. Like I'm a big NFL fan, so I was telling my son, because we always had these arguments about who is the best players from my era, which I grew up with the Tony Dorsetts and the Drew Pearsons and all that in this area, and he's like, "Oh, we're a clown, we're better athletically." And so I said, "Bro, there's a dog in every decade." I told him I was naming all types of people, and then I was telling him about the steel curtain, and then he went back and looked at the Pittsburgh Steelers from the 70s, like, you know what? Yeah, it had some in your era. I'm like, they do. And that's what I appreciate about what you do, because it shows all these kids that, hey, everybody had dogs in their era.
Right.
Yeah, a dog gonna hunt in any era and stuff like that. So let me ask you this: what was your favorite discoveries? What was something you like? Man, dang, I love this. This is the best video I got, or whatever.
Whew, man, that's tough. I mean, honestly, the Pop Warner stuff really was what I liked a lot. Especially again, I'm biased, so the stuff I found from my team, from the Oak Cliff Jets, was definitely good. Seeing them guys when they was young. I found another one from the Jets, from guys back when they switched to green. I was the orange and black Jets. But yeah, I think that was probably my favorite. But it's been others that I've put out there that was good too. But just me personally, yeah, that one hit home, because again, what started me looking for stuff was me looking for my clip of my interview, with Chris Arnold, and still ain't found it, but I found everybody else, so I'm good with that.
Hey, as a matter of fact, have you reached out to Chris Arnold?
Man, you know what? I reached out to Chris Arnold years ago, back when MySpace was popping. And I told him who I was, and that just gave him a little bit of the story of the team. Guys was coaching now. That when our quarterback at that time was a big time recruit at DeSoto, Casey Printers. Ended up going to TCU, and I think he went on to, I don't want to name the wrong Florida school, but Bethune or A&M, maybe it was A&M, I don't know. But then we ended up being the CFL MVP. Got to be on the Chiefs practice squad, for a couple of years. So I was just sharing that with him. And he told me thank you, and just had some. He was being nice, but he wasn't able to give me that clip. Yeah, I even reached out to Sam Putney before. That don't have nothing to do with this. Before he passed away, well, he reached out to me because I had shared one of his old songs, had made a video. Yeah, and was just letting them, letting the people know stuff where I really had started from back early 2000s, and he hit me up. He's supposed to send me one of his old CDs, but he didn't ever get a chance to.
The crazy thing that you mentioned about Sam Putney and just Chris Arnold and all them, I actually used to do songs for them on K104 for about 5 or 6 years. So
get out of here.
Yeah, I did the song. I did the song "Cut That Cake Together." You remember that?
Oh man, yeah, man. I remember all them songs. That's what I was telling him. He was like, "You want this mess?" I'm like, "Man, hey, them classics to me." I had one of the CDs, but ended up losing the one with the "I Want a Big Fat Woman" on there. Like, 12. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I wrote that one and performed it, and then had him to perform. We actually performed on it, so I actually still got that song.
Oh man,
a lot of songs we did. Yeah, we used to do all the little joke songs for the Skip Murphy show. with Throw Down
That's what's
Sam
up.
for about 6 years. I'm gonna send you some of this stuff. You'll probably remember a lot of these songs.
Man, please do. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Coach Carl on, but I don't know. I don't know what's up with the connection. So, Coach Carl, let me know when you're ready to pop on. But yeah, bro, that's amazing. So, because the other thing is DFW news you can use, so it's not all just about the sports as well.
Nah.
I put out different stories. Right,
Yeah, I try to stay current as well too. Recently I have been. I took some time off because I'm working. I'm an adjuster too, claims adjuster. So that just took me away for a few months. But here this year I've been trying to stay a little current as well. Though bring some actual, current news as well as the old school stuff. I ain't gonna never stop that.
Well, look, say the current stuff and smash the topic. I like the old stuff.
I know it's right. Yeah, I let Smash have his lane. I definitely ain't trying to get in that lane in. Now he do his thing. I consider them to be like K104, and I'm 105.7 or something. You know what I'm saying? So they can have that lane.
Talk that talk. Hey, I just brought on Coach Carr, and Coach Carr, he said he's a former Oak Cliff Jet. So I'm pretty sure. That was a rival y'all used to smash back in the days.
Well, I don't necessarily know if I consider that to be a rivalry. Like we dominated them, so it wasn't even like the Jets back in the day used to be the PV. You know what I mean? You get a win. You get a win. You get a win.
Oh man!
They worked their way into being part of one of the best organizations. Discussion, but definitely from the inception, we ran through the Jets when I was with the Colts, the Mustangs, and the Raiders.
The Redbird Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The Redskins, when I played, was still the best, one of the best teams. It was the Redskins and the Comets, all the way up until my last year, and we smoked them all.
Okay, so let's put perspective. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay, so I was on the D team, so the Comets was never in a discussion.
Okay.
The Mustangs I remember when the Redskins were the Chiefs. Okay,
Gotcha.
They didn't start getting fly until the Mustangs left Redbird Park. And when we left Redbird Park, we went to Atwell with the Colts, and the Chiefs turned into the Redskins. So all the best players from the Mustangs went to the Redskins. So that's how that started. But even when I was playing, the Colts the Comets were never a factor. So I think if you're gonna go back in depth and detail, you gotta go deep. You gotta go deep. I'm talking about I was on the first Raiders team. So I know all the history.
Right on.
And I know the Colts, the Chiefs became the Redskins, and they was only the Raiders and the Redskins. It was never nobody else. Matter of fact, I got a picture. This is wild, B-Rise. So and Pat. So you remember recently they've been having these 93s, 92s, whatever. All state team, the dream teams come out, and people's kind of reminiscing. So I'm putting it to you like this. I got a picture where it was Alan Wilborn at quarterback. I was at fullback. Camille Hurd was at tailback, and all three of us was on the all-state team. So I think Buster had won maybe Gatorade Player of the Year. I won Texas Player of the Year, and Tamel was like All-American too.
That's a picture?
I got a picture, man. We was with the coach. I got that. Like that's a real live picture.
Good stuff.
And our coach was Earl Thompson. So that's how cold we were. And that was probably our third year on the B team because we started playing at 4.
So, you know what? That's crazy. I shared a Redskins video. So, was one of your teams? So, was you playing when they was going to when Nickelodeon was broadcasting the game?
Nah, I don't know nothing about Nickelodeon, but I got a fun fact for you. B-Rise, listen, you ain't gonna want to leave your nice living room. Yeah, you don't want to leave your nice living room for this one. This is a fun fact.
Wait a minute.
So this is a fun fact. This is a fun fact.
Oh man.
I know. I got this. I'm finna tell it to you. This is a fun fact. This is a fun fact. All right. So guess who's the first professional athlete on Games and Sports for Kids? Nickelodeon.
Oh.
Me.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
The first professional athlete ever on game. It was called GAS. Nickelodeon GAS. Games and Sports for Kids. And I was in Orlando. I was living in Orlando, and I went on that show. I was the first professional athlete ever on GAS.
Oh, that's what's up.
Well, we got a lot of firsts going on tonight. So, Coach Carr, you was the first on there. Matt was the first player to score a touchdown at Molina High School.
That's big. That's big because they ain't got a lot of touchdowns, but that's big.
Hey, hold up, man. Look, I got to get Can't let you get my Jags right there, but hey, that was the only one we scored that game too. But yeah, we definitely had some good team. Look at the picture. Oh, man, my school catching slugs.
I'm just messing with you.
It's all good, Chief.
Hey, this how I guess looking. Because Coach Carr, he's the one that's been putting out all those Dave Campbell editions that's been showing up on the Texas Youth and High School Sports. So he's the one posting those every day and finding those archives, including the one that you was in. So
okay, so yeah. So when you go back, and I got a picture, man. So that'd be a nice little thing to add to your archive, man. For real.
Right. That's what I was asking. I was gonna say that if you can send me that, man, I'd love to be able to share it. Yeah, I got a bunch of people following on Instagram, so people will see it, and you let them know who you was. But that's the type of stuff I'm on, so I appreciate it if you will. Okay.
Yeah. Just send me your.
So, Coach Carr, what year did you?
I got
you. Coach Carr, I was going to ask you, what year did you come out of Carter?
So I came out in '93, man, and here's another one, man. Here's another jewel I'm finna give you, right? Like this is a lot of people don't know this, but I'm finna give you a jewel. So,
J-Max,
we was on at the Redbird Raiders. This is our team. Okay, I'm gonna show you our team.
Hold on, Coach Carr. J-Mac, I might need you to turn. You got something loud in the background.
My TV.
Yeah. There we go. All right, there we go.
Well, you just come on the podcast. It's all rude and shit.
You know what? I didn't know he was gonna click me in that fast. You know, you can't forget about your ass for a minute.
Yeah, but watch this. J-Mac was on our team when we was the coach that year. You know what I'm saying? So J-Mac was on that team with me, Tamel, and Buster. You know what I'm saying? You remember that team, J-Mac?
Yeah, that was what grade we in?
We was the coach. We was on D team.
Yeah.
I think he was like 5 or 6. All right. So here's a fun fact. Another fun fact. On that Redbird Raider team, which I believe was probably the best team ever fielded in youth football. People can argue or whatever, but it's probably about 3 or 4 teams that I've been on, and I would say will still go undefeated in today's football. This particular team had Byron Haspard, Andre Patterson, me, Tamel Hurd, Byron Norton, Mark Williams that went to Hutch and played for the Giants. My brother went to Boston College. Rod Jones, Rod Hill once stayed at Hutch. And he ended up being the quarterback for that team. Man, we were so loaded. T3 was on that team. Roscoe was on that team. Scotty Coker, if y'all remember Scotty Coker, Redbird legend, white boy, the first white boy in the neighborhood. Went to Kimball. Scotty Coker, man, cold white boy, cold. Man, we were so loaded. And I remember we tried to get the Redskins to play us, and they won't play us. So Larry Oliver, if you're in the chats, go on and chime in because we would have hugged y'all out.
Man, they were ducking.
Pop Warner. So this is the first year that we had went to this other league where you wore the X's on the back of your helmet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we was in that league, and we played this team called the Longhorns. And I want to say we beat them like 28-0. Then the next weekend, and they won the league, so they wanted to bring them out there like, oh yeah, these the best kids, and we beat the shit out of them. Then we got ready to play the Rebels, and the Rebels came out practice and saw us practice. And I remember Coach Simon, the late Coach Simon, walking over there, like, "Hey,
Leon Simon,
y'all ain't got to stand behind the dugout because we was at Redbird Park." He's like, "You ain't got to stand behind the dugout. Y'all can come over here and watch us play. Y'all can stand in the huddle and hear the calls and everything." Because we got ready to play them that following week. They didn't even show up.
Yeah. Wow, that's tough right there.
So Leon Simon was your coach.
Listen, I'm telling you, listen, man. Listen, when I tell people all the time that I was blessed, like getting into teaching, to me is really a late start because that was probably something I have always been born to do and groomed to do. Like my whole family are educators, teachers, shit. My teacher was JMAC teacher. You know what I'm saying? So my whole family are educators. And then growing up coaching football, I'm talking about Leon Simon, Charles Thibodeau, Earl Thompson, James Hurd, Coach Punch, Coach Bill, who was on the Oprah Winfrey show because he started AAU basketball in Dallas with Larry Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Coach Walton, y'all know what Coach Walton is. Shit, he a legend. Still, probably didn't lose a game in 6 years. You know what I mean? Coach James and Carter, you know what he did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shit, Gary Moeller, Lloyd Carr, Greg Madison, my man with the Giants was the head coach. Not Bill Parcells. He ended up coaching at Denver, and then I played for him at the Falcons. But man, meeting Bill Walsh, you know what I'm saying, and talking to him, coming down the elevator one game against the Chiefs, like I've been blessed to be around this game. You know what I'm saying, and meet some people. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny because I was sitting around, man, and played with a Charles Woodson, played with a Tom Brady. Peyton Manning, I was with the Colts for 1 year with Peyton Manning, his rookie year. I remember, Jerry Rice coming up to me like, man, every time I turn on film, all I see is you, man. You be balling like to the Terrell Owens playing dominoes every morning. And that's when I got hooked on these breakfast burritos in San Francisco. You know, so, man, Michael Vick, fresh rookie year. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the football guys have been blessing me over and over and over again. So to be able to share this with like young men and with people who listen to our podcast, man, it's kind of dope, dog. So yeah, I'm sorry, man, for going off on a little rant, man. But this, when you talk about the nostalgia of it all, man, and what you're doing,
yes,
you know, we behind that stuff 100%, man. You know, because a lot of these YNs think they got it like that. Like, nah.
All right, so I'm gonna do this.
Putting us
They're the only ones.
So I'm gonna do this because Matt's specialty is these old school videos. So I'm gonna drop another one. I was saving this for you, Coach Carr. That's why I asked you about what year you graduated. and then we'll go through this, and then J Mac I'll bring you in after that. But check this out real quick.
The future for number 7, Calvin Goldsmith, looked bright. Dave Campbell's Texas Football Annual lists him on the 1994 Super Team, and his coach calls him the best defensive back in the state. His friends and teammates are shocked at his death.
I was hearing all these different rumors, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't believe it was true. Still don't believe it. If you charge me, you're hard to believe.
Goldsmith was a leader on the field and off. His mom worked in Carter High School's library, and his grades showed it. But Goldsmith wasn't big-headed. Instead, his friends describe him as an ideal human being.
Learn respect and pride for your peers, because he never disrespected anyone. He always treated everybody courteous. Good student, A-B student. You know, passed the SAT, passed everything. Just waiting to go to college, make somebody self.
We're told Goldsmith and teammate Damian Hill were at school, meeting with scouts and having their pictures taken. A group of guys went to this house on nearby Silverdale when one pulled out a gun.
A 17-year-old, he had a gun out playing with it and pointing it at different ones, and they were telling him to put it up.
He didn't put it away. Instead, it fired, striking Goldsmith in the chest at about 1:30. Police say the guys rushed their friend down the street to Charlton Methodist Hospital, where he died about an hour and a half later.
This from what I heard. No trouble at the house, nobody getting into nothing. He just was trying to show off a little gun or whatever. Yeah, I can.
Back at the school, students gathered during the evening to mourn the loss of their friend. The team chaplain and minister Wayne Mitchell tried to explain God would make sense of the tragedy.
He meant this for good, and I can't figure out how to tell you how God's going to get glory out of this, but I know that he will. You understand what I'm saying?
But for those who knew the good-hearted Calvin Goldsmith, it'll probably be a lesson that's hard.
Ooh, man. Oh, man. That one's rough, man. So I played with Calvin his sophomore year. So it's him and D Hill. And we was young that year. We wasn't very good. It was my senior year. We had a lot of work to do, but I knew how special Calvin and D Hill was. They was little bros, you know what I'm saying? And I knew how good they was. So I remember getting a phone call. I was at Michigan, and my mom called me, and I was decided to be in my dorm room. And she told me, Calvin passed away. That was hard. It was rough. It was one of those things, man, that just, you don't know how to respond or how to react to it. So I'm gonna tell you a couple of stories. One story was we was in I was playing with the Georgia Force. So when I was playing in Atlanta, I was playing with the Georgia Force arena team, and they had just came out, and man, I had just got into my apparel business, and one of the things that I was doing was called Street Dreams, which is like the cats that came through the neighborhood, like Byron Norton, Calvin Goldsmith, people that was like real popular in our time, because you got to kind of think about it. In that time, we was more of like, the superstars in our neighborhood wasn't the Cowboys. It was cats that played on Friday nights. You know what I'm saying? So we looked at those guys a little bit different than how we would look at a Emmitt Smith or a Michael Irvin, right? They really didn't get their credibility till they started coming hanging out on the south side of town. So you kind of got to think about it like that, because our neighborhood was really, really about the cats in our neighborhood. And so I remember I was playing with a cat named Mo Anderson, and Mo knew him. And we talked about him, and it just kind of came a thing, and they did a newspaper article about it. And then I turned around, man, and met we did the Oak Cliff Super Bowl a couple years ago. And one of the things that we did, we reached out to his mom, his sister. We dedicated the game. We brought his number back out of retirement. Caden Landry wore that game. They beat Kimball that game. And, it was just such an amazing experience to see that number and that name back on the field. And I think, when you start thinking about what's really important and the things that they were saying about him was true, like he was a good dude. You know what I mean? Ain't like he was into all that. So Yeah, I remember him, man. Like Calvin is to this day is still one of the favorite people, favorite football players I ever had a privilege of playing with, and one of the best people I've ever known. So yeah, that every time I see that, man, that kind of that brings back some memories.
No doubt, no doubt. I kind of say that for that because I imagine that you knew them players and stuff. And I was talking to Matt earlier about the moms and the people that reach out to him, when he's putting out these videos and stories and stuff, and he said it's definitely touching the community and stuff. So it's probably even going deeper than what he thought when he first started putting this out.
Say that again. Say it again.
Yeah. So no, I was just basically saying that I think these videos and these memories and archives he's putting out is going deeper than what he even thought when doing this work.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, you're doing a good job, man. Keep doing your thing. So,
J-Man.
What it do, man? What it do?
What it do, man? Matt has put out all these videos and then a lot of these articles with the All-American stuff that's been popping up on the Texas Youth and High School group and stuff. You've been able to kind of peruse his work and see all that stuff. The 91 team from the Dave Campbells and the 87 teams and stuff. What you think about all those dark memories?
Oh man, that bring up the good memory. That back when we used to buy the paper and look at all the stuff in the paper, man. I used to love that, man. I used to love that. That was good old days. So yeah, it always brings up, just good memories. All of it, really, especially when it's particular to that time that we came up in.
No doubt, no doubt. Ross, I guess I'm pretty sure he'll be back in a second. Man, hey, J-Man, how did the scrimmage go tonight at Diva? Did you get a chance to stop by?
No, I didn't make it, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Just so much going on, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's been so much going on. My head just be all over the place. I ain't been to a funeral in probably 4 years.
Man,
and you lucky.
I'm finna go to 2 in 1 week. Like,
that second one was a little rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that one coming at all.
Yeah, now that's a tough one. And prayers out to my man Brian Williams.
Yeah.
His family, my dog Riley. Riley's probably one of the best dudes you ever meet in your life. Like when I talk about good humans, that's him. And he raised 3 good humans. So just to see one fall, man, it just it kind of bothered me in my spirit a little bit. And we all the same age. Our boys came up together. You know what I'm saying? So it just hit different.
Yeah. R.I.P. man. And what you do, this work that you do, kind of is this type of stuff that helps parents and stuff in the future. Like they don't get to see that baby anymore because he was about 24, 25.
Yeah, he's a baby.
He's a baby, and he played at A&M and played at Bishop Dunn. And you probably be pulling some of his memories up in the future and posting them and stuff like that. And and I mean, just like with Mr. Goldsmith, and I want what Coach Carr said, the young cats, the YNs that we call them. We need them to kind of see this and pay attention. That man, this thing is precious, man, and make great memories and let's always do the right thing. Now the crazy thing in these situations is these were guys that were doing the right thing. So sometimes life don't have no rhyme or reason. Because Goldsmith, he sounded like he was the same kid as Williams.
Yeah,
he sounded like he was the same kid.
He's a great kid, man. Yeah. But seeing both of them, man, young babies, and watching them grow up. You know what I'm saying? I remember when J Mac introduced me to him. Nah, that was a good dude, man.
No doubt.
It's crazy. Yeah, but you're doing a great job though. I love watching all the old school stuff. It brings back good memories. And not just y'all keep talking about the YNs, but hell, the YN parents ain't much older than them. They wasn't around then either. So.
No, for real.
Right.
That's
for real.
So they need to know too. They need to see it too.
No, you're right. And but I mean, but that stuff, but it also shows you that this stuff has been happening forever. Because I'm pretty sure through your archives and the videos you pull, you probably got many more of these type of stories. There.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, I mean, like with Calvin Goldsmith type story.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I had actually I posted Byron Norton too.
Oh.
And see that same game we had B North, man, like that's wild because like I remember both of those things vividly. Like I remember everything about that night.
Me too.
Everything.
Me too. And that hit home because those was our homies. Like B Norton, Gershwin. I mean, like them was the homies. Yeah, those was the homies. So
like,
yeah, that hit home.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. And not to mention that we all probably were hanging out. Well, I know I was because I remember seeing them. So we all hung out on the strip. That's what we did.
Yeah,
that's what we did.
Yeah, like I remember vividly. We had the Jack and Jill dance when it all popped off that night. They had got into a fight. I remember. I'm talking about. I remember when we was at 2 Pesos, old Taco. That's Taco Cabana now.
Cabana, yeah.
Used to be 2 Pesos.
Wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Wisdom.
I'm talking about the Minion parking lot.
Yeah.
Where it happened.
Yeah.
Like we was literally driving and sitting there talking to them, and this is where our young people got to learn to follow directions, take heed to your parents, right? We had a curfew. And I remember saying, all right, because I had the car, I was like, hey, look, man, I gotta go. Man, we got a curfew. We gotta go. So we left and went home and got the phone call in the middle of the night and then went to the hospital. And you got to think about it. So B Norton, them, we all grew up. So everybody who played for the Raiders went to Kimball. Everybody played for the Redskins went to Carter. So I grew up with all them. So all my friends went to Kimball. And so, but I went to Carter. So when we went into the hospital that night, you know what I'm saying? It was weird. It was a weird feeling because I went to Adwell and Carter with Gershwin. So I knew him. You know what I'm saying? And so walking into that thing, you know, and people like, oh, man, you know, he go to Carter. But I was Big Will, so I got the pass. You know what I'm saying? Because they know I've been knowing them. But just to kind of see people kind of interact because it became a Carter Kimball thing. Like, that was crazy. That was crazy, J-Mac. Like, where was you at that night? Like
we had hung out like we always do, up and down, you know,
Camp Wisdom.
Up and down Camp Wisdom. And you know, back then, you know, we didn't have cell phones. So we used to actually have to get the girls' phone numbers on pieces of paper. So, and that's what we did up and down. Me and the crew, me and my fellas, and we was, you know, doing what we do, getting phone numbers. Who can get the most phone numbers? So actually, we had left to go home to call the numbers, so we can see what we finna get into later on that night. So we had went over my boy house, Mo D, which was right. You gotta remember, it was just right down Polk, right? He stayed right in the apartment around Polk and Wintergreen. We just went right down Polk. Right. So we just make it, you know, calling around, and then I heard it was a shooting. One of the little girls, they said it, but they didn't know who it was. So I didn't actually find out who it was till that morning. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. And that was, and actually, that's what I don't know. You remember my cousin Archie that went to Kimball,
right?
When Archie told me, I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, bro," because we had saw him there. He was out there that night. But they went on their way. Yeah, they went their way, and we went our way because we trying to get into something. But yeah, it was crazy, man. And I just remember just feeling sick, man. I just felt sick all that whole next day because I couldn't believe it.
That was crazy, man. The amount of security and police that was at the funeral at OCBF was crazy.
Yeah,
the amount of police that was at Carter that day, that was at Kimball that day, like it was crazy.
But that's the thing. I never thought it was a Carter Kimball beef like that. You know what I'm saying? Not with them two.
Right.
Because B. Norton, he was cool with a whole lot of people at Carter. At Gresham just wasn't even that tight.
Right.
So it was just that's what was so crazy that that I just couldn't get it through my head. I just didn't understand it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's crazy. And the crazy thing about it is every year we seem to hear one of these stories. Like I was thinking about this today when I was looking at that video. Every year, like I remember my son had a teammate at DeSoto that got killed downtown in some weird situation the year he graduated. My nephew had graduated from Skyline. Somebody they knew had passed away, and then he ended up passing away coming home from college. When I played at Duncanville, we had this running back that played with me named Eric Newman, who got killed by this cat that they were fighting over a girl all year long at school, and then he ended up getting killed in front of the girl house. So this stuff, bro, every year, bro. And I think when you when you're able to have the memories, and you would prefer to have the memories of him playing football and scoring touchdowns, and not necessarily the news story of his passing. But but I think as much as we can archive, because you never know, it definitely helps in the healing process. Even though it's hard to heal, it's hard when you lose people at that young age. I lost multiple cousins in the same car wreck in college. They were all 19 and 23. 4 of them died in the same car wreck. So, yeah. So, it's tough, bro. It's tough. And like J-Mac said, just having to be around the town, having to go to another this week is tough. It's tough. And, I didn't imagine that when you came on the show tonight that we would be kind of on this downturn of bringing you on. But, man, that's what cool. That's what the videos you provide kind of elicits all types of emotions. We just
Yep, I remember something that Coach said about listening to your parents. That he's about the curfew. In this same video with Byron Norton, you got Coach Jones, Kimball coach. Rest in peace to him too. Where he's saying, like, I tell my players all the time, man, that curfew, make sure you're getting home before that curfew, because ain't nothing good happening outside around after midnight or whatever the curfew was. I just assume it was midnight.
That's been the Bible from the time I was in high school all the way through to now. Like, nothing good happens after 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole
take heed to y'all coaches too.
After 12 that you ain't built for.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. I done ran into some of them myself.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy to be on this side of the earth, because it don't take but just an instance for something to go wrong or somebody to lose their life. So definitely, if you stay home, you got something going for yourself. Unless you're heading to work, then nothing happening out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I always tell these kids now. I tell them it's cool to be bored.
Yeah,
man, it really is.
It's cool.
It really is.
It's all right to be lame. Yeah. It's all right.
Wish I'd have been more lame coming up. More focus on what the goal is,
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you ain't like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Your path's a little different. God already done picked, he know who his angels are. So, just
no doubt.
Make decisions, man.
Yeah,
well, man, I appreciate you coming. I'm definitely gonna connect with you more to get some more videos for the show and stuff. I know I played some stuff with Sock in the past. when they wore the mustard color helmets or something like that.
You say mustard color.
Yeah. So I've gathered a lot of your work and stuff like that, and I like, we're media and stuff like that. So anything that you do or need from us, man, we're here to support it. I heard you had a podcast. Plug your podcast real quick.
Appreciate it, man. Podcast can be found on YouTube and Spotify. Real Game Talk podcast. Me and my guy Willie Lambda's on there. He's from Arkansas, so appreciate you. Let me plug that out.
Where you from, boss?
I'm from Oak Cliff.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Skyline, and then I transferred, graduated from Millennium.
Okay.
I came up in Kimball District, though. But like I was telling them, I was looking to be rebellious and try something different. It started out good and didn't end the way I wanted it to. Millennium was closer to my house, so that's why I ended up at Millennium when I left Skyline.
Who's y'all coach? Who's y'all coach?
At Millennium?
Yeah.
Coach Boone. Darren Boone. Yeah, he coached at he played at SMU for a little bit with Jerry Ball and them.
Oh yeah, Jerry Ball. That's one of my favorite all-time players.
No doubt. Who was your coach at Skyline?
It started as Coach Johnson, brother from Kimball. Then we went to Coach Miller. I don't know where he came from. I think Woodrow or something. In the third year, it was Coach Royball from West Texas. I think he was from I forgot, but where I think he came from, like 8-man or 7-man football or something like
Good
that.
Lord. No wonder they went to sample.
I know, right? But yeah. So every year it was a different coach, and a lot of people got lost in that shuffle. But yeah, it is what it is.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, man, we appreciate you for coming in, man. Hopefully you had fun and
did, man.
Absolutely. And like I said, we love your work. Keep pumping it out. We'll keep pushing it and sharing it everywhere. And definitely stay connected with you, because anytime you got any old school highlights, you can always put in my DM. I always play them on the show.
Bet. I got you, man. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. It's an honor to be on the show. Let me know, and I'll definitely, whatever y'all send me, I'll put it on my social media as well.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely DM me the name of your show so we can check it out as well, your podcast. And and we're gonna leave you with what Matt said. This is the best game in Carter Kimball history. Let's see. Yeah, I see why Carter came up with the cartoon logo. That C on the helmet was ridiculous. But
man, that's where the Caucasians still live in the neighborhood.
hey, that was the rival right there. That's where the rival started.
that was Woodrow and Hillcrest back in the day. You absolutely right. Oh Lord. Hey, look, they kept one tradition alive. They had Carter on the back of the jerseys back then too. So
instead of your legs.
Hey, we wore that same tape around our legs.
I so did. I remember wearing that tape around.
I remember that around the thigh pad. Make you double thigh pads, put the tape around.
Exactly.
Slide down. The pants would slide.
Yeah. And that's when you wore the big hip pads that stuck out completely.
High rise. Yeah, I love them high rises.
High rises, yeah.
And if you wasn't good enough to get high rises, you would put the other hip pads upside down.
Yeah,
it looked like you had them.
Yeah, to make it feel like they was high rise.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody wanted to look like Eric Dickerson, huh?
Well, everybody had a neck pad too. And then when that bird cage came out,
neck pad around the
neck. Had that bird cage, boy, you want nothing.
Man, that bird cage and that ice box, it was the two.
Yeah, but come out there with that wing.
Hey, what they call it?
What they call it? The duck.
T-bone.
The
T-bone and the duck. Yeah. Well, you remember Coach Wall would get that damn duck out there. He would get that quack. Joker was ducking and dodging with Coach Wall.
People was wearing helmets 2 sizes too small because they didn't want that duck on that. So,
boy, that duck bill was ridiculous. Hey, they call it the Drew cage back then, didn't they?
No, that was the Roger Dodger. It's called the Roger Dodger.
Oh yeah. The duck bill was the Roger Dodger, but the Drew cage was the one that everybody wanted.
I thought the duck bill was Joe Theismann too. He wore.
That was a single bar. That was a single bar. Yeah, the duck bill.
Yeah, the single bar. Okay, the duck. Yeah, okay. Roger.
The duck was the Roger.
Yeah, Roger
Dodger.
Yeah.
But the other the helmet, the cage everybody wanted was the Drew cage. Did they call it that?
Everybody wanted the bird. That was
the bird. Yeah, the bird and the double Drew. The Drew and the double Drew. Because that's the double Drew.
It was the bird first, the double Drew, then the Drew.
Yeah.
And then if you can get the half cage.
Yeah, when they took like the old ice box, when they started making them without the cross.
Without the bar.
But yeah, you wore the cross.
They used to call that the Lawrence Taylor. That's the Lawrence Taylor type cage, but without the bar.
Without the bar, I had one of those. It was called a half cage.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
But I remember we used to be in Little League. I played for the Steelers. Everybody fighting for them Drew cage. I want a Drew cage. And you got your screwdriver. And you putting on the different cages and stuff, painting your cage. Hey, that was football.
All the cages named after our Cowboys. The Drew, Double Drew, and then SMU because Dickerson was at SMU, so he had the bird cage.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we had the duck bill for Roger.
Yeah, Roger the Dodger.
Roger Dodger, man. Hey, he was balling in that quack.
He was.
Then you used to buy the football uniform and they came in number 12.
Yeah. From Sears catalog.
Yeah,
but no, this show is really about back down memory lane, man, and really enjoyed Matt and what he had, and we had a lot of videos. Hell, even had a video of one of my high school teammates named Vincent Carruthers from Roosevelt that I played earlier. So, and Brian Riser had the line of the night talking about couldn't nobody kick back then. He was absolutely right. But couldn't no black team kick.
Oh, special teams was bad, Coach.
Special teams was bad.
They lost a lot of state championships or teams that could advance because of special teams, Coach.
And then the other thing he mentioned, which I thought was a good, he said the wing tee, everybody running wing tees and stuff like that. And he was like, man, in those games against the Highland Parks, we had a game where Highland Park beat Roosevelt 9-0. Hell, they couldn't score because if they would have spread it out or played a pro set or something, they would have been able to use their athletes more better. But everything was confined to that wing tee.
Well, because everybody ran that midline, Coach. If you look at it, everybody hitting that fullback right down here.
Yep.
Listen, when I get my program, y'all gonna get so tired of watching this fullback beat up on this linebacker. That's not gonna even be fun. You better have the toughest man that ever. We better have bad boy Leroy Brown from Cedar Hill at your linebacker, because I am coming downhill with so much frustration, energy, that you're going to quit. I'm going to take your soul, your spirit, your heart, because y'all play little soft football, 5 wide, 4 wides. I'm making the fullback famous. I'm coming out of 12 personnel. We're going to see how tough you really are. And when you want to decide you want to bring everybody down in that box, we're going to come out in a little 4 wides, little 11 personnel, and we're going to give you the business again. Except now I'm going to give you some DVs.
Speaking of fullback, that's why I'm going to go. I am going Friday to Irvin Nimitz because they breaking out the slot T.
Oh.
So I told him I'm going to come, and I just want to watch it firsthand, just see it up close. And it's a young cat from East Texas, I believe. I think he's from East Texas. Coach Burns. I'm going to have him on the show. But that's another reason why I want to go out there and look at it. But he's been teaching it. They've been training their whole offseason. I kind of been following how they've been doing it. I'm intrigued by it. I can't wait to see how it goes. I feel like that it kind of fits their personnel better than the spread. So I can't wait to go out there and check it out. I mean, hey, they've been their whole off-season program been kind of geared towards that.
Everybody getting that amber look.
Everybody getting it.
But yeah, so I'm anxious to see how they work, man. You know, I root hard for Irvin Nimitz, so I'm gonna go check them out Friday.
I hope they can beat Seagoville in scrimmage this year.
They should.
I say this. Sometimes you gotta change it up to fit. Like J Mac said, your personnel, because they ain't gonna win in no spread out there. So they might as well kind of change it up and maybe get a 2 or 3 win extra out of that system. So I'm all.
Well, it helps them out because it'll slow the game down. It'll shorten the game.
Right.
It'll shorten the game, keep the defense off the field. At that point, you could use a bend but don't break defense, especially if you're able to get them 3 yards in cloud of dust.
Irvin Nimitz got some good-looking kids, and they had good-looking athletes. There is no way they shouldn't have made the playoffs last year.
I don't know.
They weren't running the slot T.
Listen, we can holler slot T. They was trying to run the ball. They was trying to run a lot of power and counter. Okay. I'm just saying, for what I saw, we made the playoffs in 5A. To me, I thought Irvin Nimitz had enough in that district to make a run. If not finish just right outside the 4th spot.
It definitely should have competed for that 4th spot.
For sure.
I think that's why the changes I think that's why he made the changes he needed to make, because he saw that. And, you know, credit to him, man. You don't stick with what ain't working.
Well, sometimes you got to, Coach, because a lot of times we abandon before we can conform. See, that's the.
I didn't like that offense. I didn't think it fit them.
I never thought it fit them because they was trying to play a game where they felt like they had athletes. You didn't have those type of athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your athlete was little booby. So keep the ball in his hands, run a lot of zone read, acute counter, and play him like you did Stoudemire. Like Skyline did Stoudemire when they first got him. Hey, Carl, listen, let me tell you something, Carl. I know they don't make him like that no more. That's why I'm gonna force him to fight. So.
Hey, Coach Carl, you got a camera person at your house? I keep seeing you panning in and out. I'm like you got a professional camera person over there or something.
What? No, that's just my camera, man. I have it self-adjusted, so whenever I move, it'll zoom in and zoom out. It's
okay.
In my laptop. You know, yeah, that's what that is.
And Miss Allen, quit talking noise about my belt Mustangs. I don't think they've been sorry since 99-20. Maybe 2008 or something, but not 2000.
Hey man, it's a lot of good vibes going around Roosevelt right now. So you know,
no doubt. So we'll see. We'll find out, and hopefully that coach will come on the show.
The principal made a rogue hire. He kind of just went out on his own, did his own thing, and hopefully it work out.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, man, hey, episode 129 is in the books. I appreciate y'all stopping by in the show and stuff, because B. Rosa was he was in his bag though. He had a lot of great questions in the beginning, so I appreciate
30 minutes.
Yeah, B-Rod's hanging for as long as he can, man.
B-Rod said, I gave y'all 30 minutes. I'm out.
I'm out. That man out.
That power 30, coach. He gave it to you, though. Good looking out, B-Rod.
Hey, Coach Carr, before we get out of here, man, tell them about what you got going on this summer and what you're putting together.
All right. So, for all you enthusiastic fans of flag football, we're putting together a girls' league. So, high school age girls, 14 to 18, and they ain't going to be no freshmen, sophomores. You put your team together. They all don't have to go to the same school. They can go anywhere as long as they're high school age girls. We're going 14 to 18. What we're going to do is we're going to put a league together where we're going to play 6 weeks. So the first 5 weeks, 2 games a day. We're going to play from 5 to 9. And what we're going to do is allow every team to play 2 games a day. Then we're going to play a championship game. But also we're going to allow college scouts to come out. We're going to film every game and allow every young lady that's there an opportunity to get recruited. Because to me, that's what it's about. And then what we're going to do is, I know for our team, the Dallas Shock, we're just going to go around to different colleges and we're going to go on a recruiting trips. We're going to play a couple of tournaments just to kind of get warmed up. And, we added some girls, and I think we're going to have a really good team. So I'm excited about them. And, man, so we're just going to get out there and get it and do whatever we can to make sure that, girls flag football have something to do during the summer.
What age groups are you signing up?
14 to 18. So we're gonna be one league. We take a 2014 to start out the first year, and we're gonna go from there. It's only like $480, which comes out to maybe $40 a kid for the year. We're gonna have some good times, good fun. If you need some uniforms, hit us up. We got you. We got package deals that we could do for you. Give you a home and away jersey and some shorts. So custom, however you want them. So we got a lot of good things planned for these girls, and I just want to keep them busy because we're gonna go again in the fall. So it's gonna be fun. I don't want us to lose the momentum that these young ladies have created, and keep going. Just keep going.
When do you plan on the season starting again?
June 14th. June 14th, we're gonna play every Saturday, straight through, 2 games a week.
All right.
6 weeks gonna be the championship tournament.
Hey guys, as soon as we get the flyer, we'll put it out in the group. We're gonna pump it every day, pump it every week.
Did you not get the flyer?
I did not. Let me look. I probably was producing it by that time. So background. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. If I got it back here, I download it and try to pull it up real quick.
Yeah, but we'll post it. The QR code is real easy to sign up with. So it'd be a lot of fun, man. Put your teams together, put your dream teams together. I know we're gonna be pretty good. We ordered. We got a pretty good team, group of girls. Most of my team for Seagoville is gonna be playing. So get a chance to check it out.
Yeah, we didn't get it. We didn't get in the background of the show, but we'll definitely put it out next week. I'm pretty sure J Mac will put it out on the Sunday show, and we'll make sure that we're pushing and promoting.
You didn't see it in the group chat?
That's not in there.
You sure? Okay.
He dropped it. I think you should probably scroll past it.
Oh, did he drop it? Oh, he must have dropped it before that video because I ain't seen that. Okay. I'm her. Okay, gotcha. I did miss that. All right, so we'll definitely get it after the show. I'm not gonna be able to get on the show right now.
Yeah, that was at 10 o'clock this morning. But I mean, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I know how it is, though. I see how you get in.
Yeah. Hey, as a matter of fact, appreciate you coming out. Hell, I don't even have that picture out of you coming out to the Big U Sports League event. How did you enjoy it?
That was fun, man. I tell you what, please change your one-on-ones and put some defined roles when they do these one-on-one drills. I'm tired of watching bad football.
Hey, well, do this. I'm gonna have you come out and teach it next year, or you can run it 1 week or whatever. We'll pay you to come out and run it and show them how they really should be getting busy with it.
Yeah, well, and a lot of it too is you can tell that they don't develop them linemen. So all that other stuff is cool, But when it comes time to get in the stands, to get in the set, like they're not doing that. Like it's, you know, you got people lined up, head up each other. You got these tight splits, and it's unrealistic, but it's not really helping the kids now. And there was some kids, man. You had a kid in there named Big Baby in the 5th grade. Coach, Big Baby gonna be a problem.
Woo!
He gonna be a problem. He already look like a middle school kid.
Right.
He played for a team out of Mesquite.
Yeah, it might have been Texas Elite.
Then the Bruins.
Yeah.
Oh, coach. The Bruins got some. They line. I mean, they won a lot of them, but they were scrappy.
They was. They
were scrappy. Like I liked them. They had a little dude named Lucky. Good name, Lucky.
You lucky if you get past that joker.
Hey, you was, boy. You beat Lucky on offense, boy. Shit, you did good. Yeah, it's a talent out there, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I got a chance to watch the skill guys. Man, they got skill. It was a team. I want to say it's called True Brand. I don't know who they are. They lost to the Titans.
Lost to the Titans.
Black and gold.
Oh, that was Slime Elite, probably.
Was that Slime Elite?
Yeah.
Now, what is Slime Elite? I be seeing the Slime Elite stuff everywhere, slime stuff everywhere.
Yeah, so that's the team. They got all that drip stuff on their jersey or whatever, but they're a real popular team. A lot of the top athletes from DeSoto, Lancaster, Cedar Hill, Duncanville play on that team. So yeah, they're just a team that a lot of people gravitate to. They kind of like the trendy team, like a True Buzz or something like that.
Okay, yeah, no, they look good, man. They got some players over there, man. They got a couple of big kids, man. That was like, wow, yeah, no, they got some dudes. You got some talent out there for sure.
Yeah, so it's some big time talent. SWAT. Just shout out a few teams real quick. SWAT, Bebe Kids, DJ Bebe.
Oh, SWAT, dude, SWAT got this quarterback.
Woo, killing
man. Where they out of?
SWAT is out of the Mansfield, Arlington area.
Cause what grade was they? They were gonna be first.
They were 12U. They were 12U. They're a pretty big team, and they beat the hell out of everybody.
Coach, the quarterback, coach.
Yeah, the quarterback coach. Quarterback all year. And then we got another team that you didn't get to see. We call them J-Mac would love this one. They're called the By 40 Boys, the Texas Tar Heels, Flame Gang 8U. They was hang every time they play. These are little 8-year-olds, bro. The passing game and patterns and the sets are ridiculous. They're scoring 40 and 50 points every week. We call them By 40 Boys.
The By 40 Boys, man, you love that.
Yeah. I ain't mad at them.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's crazy. No, man, it was. I had a good time, man. It was a lot of good players out there, a lot of good talented kids, and I remember, man, during COVID, I was like, man, I watched Fort Worth football, and I watch it at that age. They was all 11, 12 years old,
right,
10 years old, and I was like, man, Fort Worth. I don't know what's going on in Fort Worth, but I knew whoever got a hold to a Fort Worth team and made that shit like dope, like Crowley did. The talent in Fort Worth is incredible,
dude. Some of the best teams. Some of the best teams in our league are Fort Worth teams. Texas Fade Warriors. You know, they set the standard. And I mean, like you said, it's a bunch of talent. Bro, most of the talent, a lot of the talent in Fort Worth is top notch. But then you be wondering why the Fort Worth ISD don't get that. But Crowley is definitely benefiting from that because that talent is that real. They that real over there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why them winning the state wasn't surprising to me because I know what talent comes out of Fort Worth.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, man, whoever tap into Pack Prime and adopt Pack Prime,
yeah.
Nice.
I mean, a lot of teams from there: Pac Prime, TNS, Crimson Tide, TCU, Faith Warriors, all them teams, bro. The talent, the Faith Warriors got two of the best running. They got, bro. I wish you could have came last week and saw the tackle game. We got a kid named Kai. He is the best AU kid in the state, hands down. This kid is a running back and a defensive thing. He played linebacker. On offense, he scores. On defense, he scores. I ain't never seen no kid. He like Peanut Tillman. He has an uncanny knack for knocking the hell out of people or stripping the ball and scoring a touchdown. Like, he's probably scored 3 or 4 touchdowns just off of strips on defense and probably 20-something touchdowns on offense. And this is just spring.
Yeah, I can believe it, man. It's a lot of talent out there, man. I'm excited. The future, like I said, man, even 5 years ago, I was like, the future of Texas high school football is going to be amazing.
Facts.
It's going to be crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the young talent is off the chain. I just wonder how much better they're going to get because so many is so good.
Well, that's the downside of it because I ain't even say it's downside. We don't know if it's downside yet because they're getting so much specialized training at such an early age.
I was literally going to say that
they're so developed, just athletically developed. And so, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. And you don't know if that's going to be a problem. And the reason why I say it is because when you look at Florida kids don't have, I don't know if they don't have the access or what, but their high school football is not on the same level as Texas high school football as far as resources. Talent, yes, by far, yes. So when those kids get opportunity, they looking at a raw athlete, as opposed to Texas kids, you're looking at a coached up athlete. So you don't know how much more their ceiling is going to be. That's what separates it.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's a separation in California ball too. Because my son, he got offered a coaching job up there. He's living in California. He said he went to the scrimmage, and he said even the head coach is a part-time coach. They have to work a day job and then still try to coach them kids. And he said he went down there. He said, man, the talent was so ridiculous, and they're so uncoached up that he couldn't take it. He said, I can't do it. He said, this ain't nowhere close to what we do in Texas.
Damn.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why when people was like, when they was talking about the kid for Waxahachie, the quarterback for Waxahachie, and they was talking about him being whatever. And I'm like, just because he's a freshman playing in Vegas don't mean he can't play. So when he got to Texas, start doing his thing, players play. And so, it's talent everywhere. I say it all the time. It's talent everywhere. Like Texas people don't get caught up and think Texas is the end all to be all, because it's not.
It's not. It's not. It just different with the style, with the schools and stuff. Like in California, you got to go to them private schools, and that's where all the talent goes. That's why them teams play like a damn college team, because most of the talent is on them private schools.
It is, but it's not.
Public school is not.
Yeah, it is from the standpoint of those particular athletes, but it's not when you think about the schools that stick, the Dominguez, man, I can't think of those names. That's from LA, like all those inner city schools who won 100 and something games in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like they was beating.
Why they won 100 and something in a row?
Yeah, like a God, not Martyr Day. It was their name's blue and white. Like Crenshaw. I want to say Crenshaw. Not one Crenshaw. It might be Dominguez.
Yeah, but hell, they beating up on teams that are super inferior up there.
Correct, but they have talent. Like that's what I'm saying. Like all the talent ain't in these private schools, because you still got inner city talent.
Yeah,
like kids that play in Snoop League and all that type stuff. Like there are kids. So, like California and Texas, to me, you got better coaching at the higher level because they put all their coaching money into private school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
not
crazy.
It's crazy. Well, hey, for Carl, y'all talking about my belt, and Tahara, I got something for y'all. Episode 129. We out. We're gonna leave y'all when Belt was great, baby. Let's make Belt great.
Roosevelt comes into the game with a strong defense and a quick offense. The defense is the mainstay, though. The past 3 games, they have allowed only 14 points. They are outfitted with speed at all positions, especially in the secondary. The defense is head coach Richard Thomas's pride. He's in his 6th year at the helm at Roosevelt. Since taking over in 1971, his teams have lost only 12 games, but this is the first year they've ever made it to the playoffs. He says his team will have to score a lot of points to beat Highland Park.
Well, I feel like we're going to have to score regardless of what they do because they've been scoring all year, and I don't see no reason why that they're not going to score now. So we just feel that we're going to have to score some points to win the ball game. We've never been here before, so we don't know too much about pressure right now. We're just going to go out and play football.
Some are saying the game will be between Roosevelt's fast secondary and Lance McElhaney, Highland Park's touted quarterback. Roosevelt prides itself in steady ball control, but they do have the personnel for big plays, one faction of the game which could surprise the Scots.
That's it. Dub, we out.